Hello, hello. This is the another DPM test for Berserkers technique. Mm, um, I do this mostly for myself because balance patch is incoming, and apparently my class, this setup will be buffed, and I want to have values before and after, essentially. Um, Yeah, however, since I am sharing this, I will share informations about the build. But after the damage tests, I will do 2 damage tests, one with increased mass and one without increased mass, and instead I'm using Kimblon. Yeah, let's start this. Wait, I want some feedback here. Some audio feedback. Yeah. 450 millions, 2 minutes. Okay, let's exchange. 2 keen blonde. Just double checking. Yeah, looks good. Okay, since we wanna check the burst mode, we will give ourselves identity. So this is with Kim Blunt now. Fuck that up. Yeah, that was with Kim Lund, 394 million. So what am I running on? Or well, the setup itself. Um, I am using. First of all, I have a gear score of 1,505 with 5 engravings. I'm running the full Dominion set. Wait, the sound is. No, I don't need the sound anymore. So I am running the full Dominion set. Which gives me 20% awakening cooldown, 18% skill cooldown, excluding awakening and movement, 25% ability damage, and 15% damage to all foes in the 6 set bonus. Additionally, I'm getting 3 additional awakening usages, which is nice. I'm using. So the essential idea is that when I'm out of burst mode, the idea about this is you need to get into identity, and Berserker, getting into burst mode with Berserker actually takes like 3 full damage rotations, roundabout. And in order to get faster into it, I'm using, or the general idea is that you're using your awakening skill, because your awakening skill gives you around about 60% identity. And then after the awakening, you only need 1 skill rotation in order to get into burst mode. So the idea is getting this one down as much as possible on the cooldown side. So when I'm out of burst mode, that I can use this essentially right after it again. And the set itself also brings nice things with it, because 18% cooldown reduction on all skills, on all damage skills, or essentially on all skills, is good, because I don't have to spec in swiftness. I can use it fully on specialization and a little bit on crit. So I can hit the 60% roundabout. I'm getting because when I'm in burst mode, I'm getting like 30% crit rate, 70% crit damage currently. They're probably changing that, and 20% attack speed and movement speed. Yeah. What else to say? Yeah, engravings. I'm using normally. So my default setup would be. What? Yeah, that's my default setup would be is looking like that. Gretch, Berserk Technique, Ambush Monster, Awakening, Mass Increase. So I think I don't have to explain why Gretch. Also not one Technique, Ambush Monster, obviously. Most of my skills are back attack damage. Awakening as well, I explained that already. I want to get my Awakening skill up when I'm out of burst mode to get faster into it again. So in total, you see, I'm also getting 3 maximum usages. I think per instance, I have like 9 usages in total. Mass increase. Attack speed is not really. You saw me rotating. I very rarely use auto attack, so I don't. Attack speed is not my priority. Essentially. Um. Yeah, and other than that, yeah, attack power obviously is quite good. You saw that. I mean, it's not very big difference. I think we had like 450 million with increased mass. Um, I mean, that's basically. I'm at currently 270 crit damage, and if I'm in burst mode, I'm getting like in between 70 plus crit chance in total with the skills. So Keen Blunt is not getting its full potential, because my crit damage is already pretty high, and my crit chance is also very high. So mass increase does get better in my current setup. Um, but the thing might be changing once we lose the crit damage. So if I'm losing 70 crit damage, but I'm getting 32 damage overall, Keen Blunt might be viable or better. I will do the tests when the server or when the patch hits actually, and I will record it as well. Other than that, the gems are pretty straightforward. I'm using F all on 7, and my biggest hitting skill is on 9, which is Bloody Rush. I'm trying to push this to 10. Afterwards, the priority would be Finishing Strike, and after Finishing Strike, I would go for Strike Wave, because essentially these are the most. So after Bloody Rash, finishing strike is the biggest DPS skill, and then Strike Wave, and then um, it would be um, Hellbone, Hellblade actually. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I wanted to explain my. I mean, I'm not playing the meta build. So essentially, Berserk technique is not meta right now. It's mayhem. But even for Berserk technique builds, I'm not using the recommended stuff. At least not everything of it. For example, I'm using Whirlwind. I don't think Whirlwind is in the meta right now, or in the recommended list of skills for Berserk technique. As well, I'm also using 2 movement skills instead of only 1. So in total, I do have 3 movement skills, essentially. My spacebar, my shoulder charge, and my diving slash. The reason for that is simple. Positioning with the Zerg is quite, with Berserker is I would consider rather important. I don't. I'm tanky, but I do most of my skills do damage, back attack damage. So and the bosses here move quite quickly. And I like to have more mobility actually. And to be honest, I've tested a few of those skills to exchange it, but none of them did that high DPS that I would give up my second movement skill, active movement skill. Um, I only exchange it if I need a counter. But to be honest, Berserker's counter, I would consider Berserker's counter one of the worst, actually, because the animation is pretty long, the range is garbage, and you gotta be right in front of I mean, it is a counter, right? You have to be in front of the enemy. And yeah, if I need it, I have a preset where it is actually exchange diving slash with what was it? With chainsaw, essentially, which I consider garbage. This skill is horrible. Yeah. And it gives me the mobility. I do appreciate that. Um, Over the additional, I don't know, 3+ million damage per rotation, I don't give a shit. Because worst case scenario, I don't get into a position where I actually can bring on the damage. So for me, it's rather important to have maybe an additional movement skill. And you see that this is a rune where it actually gives me a little bit more movement speed for 3 seconds. I probably should push the the swift move to a higher level, because it is you feel it, it makes a difference. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. That sums it up. If you have questions, you can ask. But like I said, this is mostly for me. I just did the explanation because I put it on YouTube. So yeah, bye bye.